So earlier this year I installed an Irrigreen sprinkler system. This is a really unique sprinkler system that is completely customizable to your own lawn. You can adjust the spray patterns for each sprinkler head. And each sprinkler head covers a wide area that replaces multiple sprinkler heads. For example, my 2,000 square foot front lawn takes 5 sprinkler heads. And so I want to give you 3 benefits that I've found and realized since installing this system here. Here we go. Now, as I said before, this is a digital sprinkler system. Each head is its own zone, and each sprinkler head is completely customizable to the area that it's in. You can adjust the spray pattern for the entire radius so that when it comes upon obstacles like this garden bed here, it adjusts to the shape of the garden bed so that it doesn't get water in the bed. Or for example, the corner head over here will not get water on the sidewalk. It will stop spraying once it gets to the end of the grass and then pick up again on the other side. Very, very nice. Now, before I get into the benefits, I just want to share that I am working on a complete review of the entire system here. And I want to share with you the things that I really like about it and the areas that I can see room for improvement, and there are some. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing if you're interested in a system like this, or if you're interested in just general lawn care tips and tricks or other product reviews, this is the right place for you. So hit that subscribe button and follow along. Got lots of content planned, lots of exciting things to share with you. Okay, so benefit number 1 is there's no longer excess water that's landing on the sidewalks or the driveway. And this is a big deal for me because I've been really diving into water conservation and saving water is a hot topic here in the desert for obvious reasons. We've just come out of a pretty big drought. Thankfully, we are back to normal as far as water reservoir levels and things like that, but it's still important to keep a conservative mindset. And a system like this really helps. Here's why. As I mentioned earlier, this thing is completely customizable, and it lets you in the app leave different points to mark on a map to map out your yard and tell the sprinklers where to adjust and set the stream of water that's coming out. So it's essentially painting, or even you could think of it as 3D printing the water on your yard. Completely custom. And so that way, any water that does get on the sidewalks is residual, like it's just splashing off the grass onto the sidewalks essentially. And you can really dial that in quite nicely. And for me, the best use case and example that I can explain here that's really saved us is on the driveway. My wife parks the van on the driveway closest to the grass, and with the old system, a traditional system, especially on windy days, it would train. So with the old system, especially on windy days, water would just spray and drift and just soak the van. The whole driver's side of the van would get a little car wash, which would turn into water spots, and that would be an even bigger problem that I would have to wash the car all the time. And it was just a waste of water because none of that was getting on the lawn where it needed to be in the first place. So now we can even park the van right up against the grass here on the driveway, and during a watering session, water's not getting on that van because it's been programmed to spray only to the edge of the grass and follow the shape of the grass line here, the yard, and keep the water in the yard where it belongs. All that being said, that's also a money saver. Obviously, water costs money and you want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. And any water that goes onto the sidewalks and the concrete and the driveways and even into the garden beds that's not supposed to be, it's wasting money and resources. So, +1 there. The second thing I want to point out is more area is covered by a single Irrigreen sprinkler head than a traditional sprinkler system, which is really cool. You need less heads in your system than you would with a traditional system. For example, I said that I had 5 sprinkler heads here in my yard for the Irrigreen system, and I don't even need 5 if I didn't have this little garden bed here in the corner of the yard. I added a 5th head right here in this corner so that I could spray on this side of this garden bed, and then the head that's right here sprays on this side, and I can get around it that way. So if this wasn't even here, then I would only need 4 heads. My old sprinkler system, the traditional system that I replaced with the Irrigreen, has 12 heads, and so I went from 12 heads to 5, and I really don't even need 5 if this wasn't here. So even considering that I would only need 4 heads to cover this space, that's a 75% decrease in the amount of sprinkler heads, which is a lot less maintenance, and kind of is a good segue into the next realization that I had here. The last realization I'll point out, and I'll also let you know that I have a bonus realization too, just a convenience type thing that I'll share with you in a second. But the last realization is along those lines of the last one here, is it's not complicated. It's not a complicated system at all. It's all off of one single supply line. There are no valve boxes. Each sprinkler head is its own zone. So you don't have to deal with manifolds, you don't have to deal with valves, you don't have to deal with wiring all that together and splicing all the wire together between the valve boxes and all the different valves. The wire connects all the heads in line together, and the supply line is all the same 1-inch supply all the way down, and then if you need to add on later, it's super simple to add on to the system if you need to. Alright, so I did promise a bonus, and here it is. This is the bonus. The nice thing about one sprinkler head being an entire zone and covering so much area is, with a traditional sprinkler system, when you have a zone running, usually half the yard or a very big area is just getting soaked. It's getting watered, there's sprinklers everywhere. If you need to get from one end of the yard to the other, you're going to be running through sprinklers, you're going to get wet. Not so with Irrigreen. When an Irrigreen zone is running, it's one single sprinkler head, and it goes very slowly around the yard, and so it's very easy just to slowly, casually walk by it and not have to worry about getting wet. Alright, so there you go. There's a few things that I've realized just in the last couple months or so since I've really been using this, and it's been you know, just becoming part of the routine around here. So if you're interested in more information on Irrigreen, I'll leave a link down in the description below. There is a discount code there, so if this is something you're looking to add to your yard, it does come with a free sprinkler head with your purchase, and they run deals all the time, so that link's good for all of that. So give it a look. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. Again, full review of this system is in the works. I'm putting it together, I'm taking my time with it. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot of things that I'm trying, and I want to make sure that I really understand everything and get all of my thoughts organized properly for that review so that I don't do you a disservice. So stay tuned for that. Again, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time.